What's up, everybody? Welcome into the latest episode of the Rapala Collegiate Bass Podcast. Going to talk to the winners of the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. University of Montevallo claiming their fourth straight title. First team ever last year to win the title 3 times. This year makes a fourth, continuing to add to those records in the record books. Nick, we'll ask you this first question here. We've had y'all on even recently as y'all won the Hartwell Slam, you and Easton, who's joining us today on the show as well with 2 other teammates that we'll talk to in just a moment. You guys got the victory. We talked to you at that point, asking kind of what needed to happen, how the season was going to play out for y'all to be able to claim that fourth title. You've now done it. Tell me what that feeling is like.
It's a fantastic feeling. That was the end goal for the entire team this year. Was as soon as we got that, the third last year, that was the first thing we talked about. Let's make 4 happen. We knew it was going to be, a long journey, and we knew that things were going to be tight with the new rules, and all these teams are getting so dang good now. We knew that things were going to be tough, but fortunately, we all worked hard at it, and it worked out at the end.
Easton, similar question for you. I believe you can tell me in your answer if I'm right or wrong here, but I think in talking with the team yourself, having been there now for as many years as you've been a part of all 4 of those titles. Kind of talk about what that run has been like and maybe where this one ranks amongst those 4.
Yeah, the run's been nothing short of incredible for me and Nick, as we're both seniors this year. It's been especially special to win it in the 4th year, but like Nick kind of mentioned, it's gotten harder and harder each year. The teams are just getting better and better, and then this year with the triple points at the last event, we knew we would have to bring our A game all the way right up to the end. And going into Pickwick there, you could just tell that our whole team was really focused, and we knew with the task at hand, and we knew that I think we had 7 teams there. Everyone had to focus and do their job because the top 3 boats was going to contribute points. But it was just really cool to see how focused everyone was at that Pickwick event, and we were able to get it done. So.
Yeah, let's talk details and specifics there at Pickwick. I made a couple notes in preparation for the interview. Peyton, I'll ask you the next question so you can kind of listen to what I say here. Like Easton said, y'all had 7 teams qualify for the Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops at Pickwick Lake. Triple points tournament. Qualified a couple extra there. Top 25 school of the year got you 4 boats and a few other top finishes throughout the year. Some teams competing that week had more boats in the event than you did. Some had less. Y'all were kind of there in the middle. Of those 7, 6 from Montevallo finished inside the top 30. Knowing what needed to be done that week, your top 3 were 12th, 15th, and 16th, earning the team 6,700 points. That's the second most total behind just the second-place team in this School of the Year program at the end of the year was UNA, who they won the event and had a 3rd and I believe a 25th. So 12th, 15th, 16th got the job done, sealed it for y'all. At the end of the season when the dust settles, the team wins by about 4,000 points over UNA. Peyton, real quick, that week at Pickwick, seeing that unfold, knowing that the team took care of business like they did, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we just all kind of go into the week, and we knew that there was a task that needed to be done, and it was cool throughout practice just watching everybody, and a lot of times, and we help each other out, but a lot of times throughout practice, it's kind of tournament starts, and it's kind of a lot of times every man for themselves, but going throughout practice this week, everybody was talking, everybody was kind of helping each other out if somebody was struggling, and it was really cool to see. You could tell everybody had the same end goal in mind, and that was to win the 4th one. And going in that focus like we were, and then the results showed it. We really came out on top in that event, and it was really cool to see.
I was able to take a couple other quick looks at some other snapshots throughout the season, and just in terms of championship events. So ACA on the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series, the Bassmaster College Series, and the MLF College Series. Across those 3 championships, Montevallo, those are the championships for those that aren't familiar that are listening, are some of the highest point value events for the year. For the ACA, the championship was triple points. For the other 2, they're double points and worth incrementally more than the regular season event. So at the Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops, as we just said, 6 of your 7 boats from Montevallo were in the top 30, had a 12th, 15th, and a 16th that earned the team 6,700 points. The MLF championship was in the middle of the season. Montevallo's top 2 teams were 3rd and 6th, and the Bass championship was the first championship in this cycle to count, and y'all had a 3rd and a 5th. Dalton, real quick, talk a little bit about the significance of those championship events, and obviously those top finishes carried throughout the season, but to have that success at the biggest stage of each of the 3 major college trails definitely paved the way for y'all to be able to claim your 4th straight title.
No doubt. Those big championship events mean a lot to us, and that's what we work hard towards the whole year, is getting to those championship events and really performing at those, because that's where you make your name, and that's where you make a bunch of points, is at those championship events. So, and seeing how good all our guys do at these championship events is absolutely unreal. Nobody lets the pressure get to them. It kind of seems like everybody calmed down and they made it there, and it's time to try to win the thing. And it's pretty cool to see the team, work that way.
From the championships, we'll take a look at the regular season for the Association of Collegiate Anglers on the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series. Nick, I'll send this next question your way once I'm done. You guys had a victory we'll hit on in a minute at the Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkeley, first event, ACA double points event of the 23-24 season for the Bass Pro Shops School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Montevallo had a 2nd and a 22nd. AVCO Collegiate Bass Open was just a couple weeks after that at Lake Dardanelle. The 2 highest teams for Montevallo were 3rd and 25th. At the Hartwell Slam in April at Lake Hartwell in Anderson, South Carolina, 1st and 19th. And as we've already mentioned, the Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops, those triple points. Montevallo went 12th, 15th, 16th. Right there, those 4 tournaments here as it pertains to the ACA and counting towards the 23-24 Bass Pro Shops School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Nick, talk a little bit about those events. Honestly, by the standards that you guys have established the last couple of years, you might have left the first couple events of the year feeling like you left the door open a little bit. You had a team in the top 5 at each, but then the next one was down in the 20s. Kind of talk about the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of the season as it pertains to the events here with the ACA.
Yeah, we definitely had the consistency, obviously, that we needed to pull it off. But kind of like you said, we definitely felt at those first couple events like we kind of left the door open a little bit. We always strive for, getting at least, 2 guys in the top 10, even the top 5. And we just didn't do that. But, that was kind of almost motivation in a way because, part of that was, us not fishing to those standards, but also kind of like I mentioned, these teams are just getting so good. Everyone's fishing so good. The collegiate guys just compete at such a crazy high level. So it was motivation, too, to, keep pushing forward in all the ACA events and all the other different trails. So, it was definitely something that pushed us and kind of helped us along, even though we did, like you said, didn't quite keep up to the standards that we put in the past. I think it helped push our guys and gave us something to look at and a goal to shoot for every single tournament coming after the next one.
Easton, as we've said a couple times here, yourself and Nick fishing together at the Hartwell Slam, won that event, finished in first place. Talk a little about I always like to ask this question. We talked about it probably when we had Joe on a couple months ago following the victory, but to be able to contribute to the team knowing that you're one of the highest 2 at these double points events or at the triple points, one of the top 3, to be able to chip in and know for a fact, like, hey, my points from our team help contribute to the school's success for this season. Kind of talk a little bit about, looking back now, you've accomplished what the team set out to achieve, and you played a role in that. Kind of talk about how that, obviously you played a role throughout the season, but as it pertains to win that Hartwell Slam and kind of capping this off towards the end of the year, that victory is a big milestone, feather in the cap to what ended up being a monumental season for Montevallo.
Yeah, winning the Hartwell Slam was definitely it was a huge win for me and Nick because I felt like we were kind of dragging our feet a little bit maybe before that event, and then to come out with a win at that event was definitely a really big deal for us. And that's one thing about our team is you don't have to worry if you fall, someone will pick up your slack, and that's a really good mindset to have on the water because you can have your whole team shooting for the win, and if you can kind of take some chances out on the water, and if things don't go your way, that someone will be right behind you picking up your slack. And I think that's a really big deal and a really big mindset to have when you're out there competing. And I think that's something that Montevallo has that some teams don't. So,
Peyton, similar question coming your way. Is you and Dalton fishing together at the AFCO Collegiate Bass Open, finished in the top 5. I believe it was third place, as y'all had a third and a 25th. Y'all are the highest finishing team there, and I believe did it again throughout the season at a couple other stops. But pertaining to that AFCO Collegiate Bass Open early in the season, similar to the question I just asked Easton, knowing now that the team's achieved what it has, and you can point to a moment where you two guys were able to help chip in, kind of talk about the significance of that for yourself, the two angler pairing, and the team as a whole.
Yeah, contributing points for it seems like a lot of the guys on the team throughout the season it's motivation, and everybody on the team wants to be able to contribute points. So it for us at least, it motivates us to fish as best as we possibly can, because we want to be one of the boats on the team that's contributing points. And when you look back at the end of the year and you see that you were able to do that, and you can look back and count the season as a success, that's really what we're going for. And then as a team as the whole, and when you look back and you captured the School of the Year title once again, and you can look back and say that the year was a success, that's what we're all out here striving for. And we're all striving to fish as best as we possibly can, and just these little milestones throughout the year, and at the end of the year winning it all is the satisfaction, and basically telling yourself that you were able to do it. And it's just motivation throughout the whole year to fish as good as you possibly can.
Next question coming your way, Dalton. Talked about it. Some of the guys talked about it in their responses so far. The modifications to the point standings coming into this year for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. A couple tweaks here and there, and it lent itself to being a tighter race through the entirety of the season. And maintaining the points here at the office as a team, we can see it. We see it playing out. Other people may not look at it quite as closely as we do and analyze it from that standpoint. But what I want to ask you, also we had it in the article, collegiatebasschampionship.com. You can see the full recap of the season as it pertains to this national ranking system. I believe it was like 6th through 10th, and then maybe somewhere in the ballpark of like the mid to high teens. There was about an 8 to 10 team grouping there that was separated basically by one of double points event. It was like a 2,000 point gap between one set of teams, and then a little further down another gap of about 2,000 points, meaning that any given week there was a chance for somebody to move up, move down, depending on how well or how poorly the team competed. So that leads me to my question, Dalton, for you guys. Could you feel that pressure more throughout the year as you're going out there and competing? Obviously, the answer is slightly going to be yes, because as we made it to the championship, the gap wasn't inevitable for someone to overcome from second or third place to catch you guys. You still had to go catch them to get the job done. But speak a little bit to from day one at the start of the year till the end of the season here, the pressure and maybe kind of what you could feel in terms of the points and other teams being involved with the chance to track y'all down.
Oh, yeah, there was a decent amount of pressure. Just about every week you'd have somebody come up and be like, hey, like, what's happening to y'all this year? We need y'all pick up the pace a little bit. And, with the new rules and stuff, we had to explain that to people, and it kept it tighter and it kept it way more competitive. And, we really liked it, and I felt like we kind of flourished in it. We might have been slow, like, towards at the start of the year, but I felt like the way we ended the season was absolutely fantastic as a team.
We're talking with Easton Fothergill, Nick Dumke, Peyton Harris, and Dalton Head from the University of Montevallo, who just finished the 23-24 season on the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, ranked number 1 in the nation. That's their fourth consecutive title as well, of which they finished the year ranked number 1. We're going to ask each one of them one more question, and we'll wrap up the interview here in just a moment. Going to have kind of a similar question. I'll rephrase it and repackage it a little bit for each person. But, Nick, you first, man. Just as we conclude here, looking back on the season that was, anything that sticks out to you as something that whether you learned, maybe something that you're going to hold on to for a long time that you kind of snapshot and stored in the memory bank up there. Just kind of tell me anything that you might take away from this past season. Obviously, winning 4 years in a row is a major accomplishment. Kind of pull something from the last 12 months that's going to stick with you for a long time.
Man, there's a lot of things. On a personal level, me and Easton, we finally got our, big collegiate win. That was something we've been chasing now for the past 4 years. So to get it finally, that was a pretty special moment. And just the team as a whole, to pull off a 4th one consecutively, to get one for, all 4 years of being there. But to get this one felt like we had to work extra hard. Not that the past years weren't easy, but this one, it just really seemed like the whole team was really firing on all cylinders, and it finally all came together. So to see all that hard work come together for the fourth one it's something I'll never forget.
Easton, for yourself, I know we've talked about it a couple times as we've had you on throughout the year, but for people that may not know, your story of the past 12 months, pretty powerful, pretty strong in what you've had to go through, overcome, and also what you've achieved has been something to really admire from a distance, and be able to watch you accomplish that is really awesome. So I want to ask you, from both a two-angler team pairing of you and Easton who have competed, or you and Nick who have competed together for several years now, as well as the team of Montevallo, just kind of give a summary of just a story, a timeline of events for the past 12 months for you, also some things that have stuck out, whether that be the health struggles that you overcame, followed by then competing in the classic bracket. You got to do that, and you won it, competed in the classic, and victories as Nick mentioned, y'all's first team victory at the college level. Just kind of all of it. Give a quick, couple minute response of just what's occurred the past 12 months for you, the two angler pairing, and the team as a whole.
Yeah, me on a personal level, I think most people know that falls fishing, or me, that I had a health issue, and then I was able to somehow bounce back from that and win the Bassmaster College Classic bracket. And then from then go to the Bassmaster Classic, and now I'm doing college stuff and also the Bassmaster Opens. So it's been a lot, but I think the biggest thing I've taken away from all that is just enjoy every day on the water, because you never know when it'll be your last. That's kind of the motto I've been living by this year. And on me and Nick's level, like Nick said, finally getting our first collegiate win, or major collegiate win, definitely meant the world to us. And like he said, we've been working so hard at it, and we've been so close so many times, and for it to finally come together, it was definitely it felt so good for it to finally happen. And then being a senior this year, I've just been trying to take it all in with the team, all the late nights rigging rods together and going out for dinner and all that sort of thing. I've been trying to just do my best to take all that in, as I know the number of tournaments I want to fish collegiately are starting to wind down. So I've been trying to just take everything in as much as possible and enjoy it while it lasts.
Peyton, I'm going to give you the same opportunity as I did those two there at the beginning of the show. Just kind of your thoughts as you take in, your journey, whether it's from youth to high school, now to college, and what you have planned on into the future for yourself to be able to be a part of this team. You've probably been there for several years, so you've won multiple titles, if not been a part of all four now. To be a part of the team that wins that fourth Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia for Montevallo, just kind of summarize your thoughts and what you're feeling here as the season draws to an end.
Yeah, I mean, it's as a team, it's been awesome to be a part of this. And we came in and they won their first one our senior year of high school, and then to come in and be a part of the second one and then the third one and then the fourth one, and it's just been awesome to watch the team grow. It's been awesome to watch the anglers grow. It's been awesome to be a part of the growth of me and Dalton as a team and just personal levels as ourselves as fishermen. And I don't know, this year has been a cool one just because there's been some tournaments that historically we've I wouldn't say struggled in, but not to our standards as to how we felt like we should have done. And winning Murray was awesome, and being able to capture that win. But the tournament like Dardanelle, where we normally go in and we finish, in the 20s to 30s the first 2 years, and then we were finally able to put the pieces of the puzzle together this last year and pull out a top 5. And that's probably the one that sticks out the most to me, just because we knew we could do really well in that event the last 2 years before that, and things just haven't gone our way. And then to finally put the piece of the puzzle and come out with a good finish in that this year was really cool. And I don't know, just getting to be a part of this team and even watch some of the accomplishments of some of the other guys on the team and be there to support them and watch them has been really fun. And just college in general is, honestly, it's been the best decision I've made coming here and being able to grow as an angler and really get your feet under you before you take the next step in fishing. I've just loved it, every minute of it.
Dalton, we're getting ready to wrap it up here, man. Last question is going to come your way. Straightforward, pretty simple. Just talk a little bit about the significance of what this victory means for the program as a whole. It's obviously something that the team, coach places an importance on going out and achieving every year, trying to finish that year ranked number 1 in the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Y'all have achieved it. What does that set into motion, whether it's in terms of bringing in other anglers, continuing that, thirst and hunger, desire to continue to keep winning and get that 5th one? Just kind of talking as you can about what this means for the program now and into the future.
I imagine this is going to mean a lot for the program. I'm like, you can only win so many for people starting to notice, like we've won 3 and you win 4, and I feel like it's going to do a lot of good things for the program, hopefully bring in some new recruits that have the same hunger and desire we did when we first came in, and all they want to do is be the best, be the next best thing to come through Montevallo. So, I feel like it's going to set hunger for the team as well, because you bring in competition, you create more competition. So it's just going to make us better as it goes. So I'm super excited what this 4th one's going to entail for the team and what it's going to entail for us. It's a really big thing that we did, and I can't wait to try to hunt that 5th one.
That's going to wrap it up, our interview with Easton, Nick, Peyton, and Dalton, all members of the number 1 ranked team for the end of the 23-24 season in the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. That is the University of Montevallo, as this season marks their 4th title, 4th in a row in that national ranking system. Guys, thanks for joining us here today. Best of luck. If some of y'all are finishing up and we don't see you next season, good luck on your next ventures. Otherwise, we'll hope to see the rest of you at some of our events in the fall, and enjoy the summer.
Thank you. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Welcome to Minnow King. How can I help you?
Everything looks good. I'm friggin' starving, man. Been spawning all morning.
Ugh, TMI, bro. What do you want?
I'll take a Crush City freeloader and gizzard shad.
Anything to drink.
Water.
Pull ahead, please. Welcome to Minnow King.
We're gonna have what he's had.
Yeah, throw me in a Ned BLT, too.
Pull ahead, please.
Calm down. Quit feeding so much.
Hey, man, I'm trying to, man. If you
If you overfeed him, he's going to hide under a log.